Guys, I think I just ran out of ideas. Because literally, the idea that I had is talk about loneliness again. God damn it. But since I've already made this video, now I am inclined to make it even better. Yeah, I literally made a 30-minute piece kind of going into some of the new stuff that I found. But I have to acknowledge that I already talked about loneliness. Technically, this is what it is. Capitalism final boss. Everyone is selfish, everyone lives their own lives, and there's no real connection. You can't even be connected to other human beings in a workplace. The most sacred place where people gather to do something. For fuck's sake, the world is falling apart and fast. This is why I work. I have welfare. I personally have, I don't have to work. Fuck those people. And in this sense, loneliness is a blessing. Being able to be alone is a blessing. Because otherwise you will be struggling instead. Again, you have these crazy categories of find a job, find a woman. Find? But that's a job. That's a whole fucking job. Searching for things is like the most difficult thing to do right now. Not only that, the moment you search for anything, you will be instantly reminded by your brain that you are lonely, that you don't have friends to give you recommendations for any of this stuff. It's a lot worse when you're just staring at your screen and hoping that a job actually is available for you and convenient enough for you to go there. Because again, it's not just jobs, but housing too. All of these things you have to find. You have to find the magical combination of things. You know, house. But let's just draw the fucking house. Oh, find these things. What? Are you this fucking selfish that the things that people need are actually part of your job to be found? And even then, the only thing I am finding on the surface is people complaining that the houses are too expensive, the jobs are too fucked up psychologically, and women, well, I'm making a conclusion personally. They don't exist. Women are fucking useless pile of shit in terms of social value. Most of the time, you can just dismiss their existence and move on with your life. Yeah, the only thing I hear is like, oh, Japan needed more migrants into their country, and it's like, just make more babies, you fucking morons. Oh, but we didn't find women. Oh, we just find enemy girls. And it's like, this is the craziest unintended consequence of capitalism. Everything is hard to find. Everything has been owned by someone else. Bro, you know what Australians have finally figured out after all these years? Goddamn spare bedroom tax. Oh boy. Let's listen to Dylan deliver the news.
Have spare bedrooms in your house or apartment, you may soon be taxed extra for it. This is what lawmakers in Australia are proposing as a radical plan to address their housing and affordability crisis. Now, last week during
radical
the country's economic reform roundtable,
it's like rich tax the rich. Whoa, radical! Oh, fucking radical, boys! Radicalization. Taxing the rich. Nobody fucking said that word before. Nobody said that sentence. Yeah, I don't know, man. I don't know. So, people are that stupid. Even Dylan stubbed his toe. Don't do that, Dylan.
One of the several proposals that they made would work by disincentivizing or punishing people who have spare bedrooms. For example, if you are a family of 3 but
It's pretty
you
obvious,
have
but I
5
still gotta
bedrooms,
learn
you would
this.
be taxed extra for those 2 additional bedrooms. And this is because Australia has a bit of a problem. They simply don't have enough homes, which has caused house prices to skyrocket. And since they consistently fall short of their annual target of building 240,000 new houses, they're now being forced to find ways of making space with the houses they've already got. But some people are outraged about this, saying that it's intrusive and that if they have empty bedrooms, it's for
Shut the fuck up. Slap those people.
guests or storage.
Slap
They
them.
argue that this is an infringement on privacy and freedom and that it's unfair to expense those who have retired. But what do you guys think? Is this going too far, or is it
Most of the complexes, they have their own plans. Like you don't need to invade people's privacy to double check how many bedrooms they have. Like, come on, man. Come on. And as long as that is out of the way, then congratulations, right? Like if a person has to go through every single house to grab all the data, like that makes no sense. It should be based on space-ish. You know how much space a house has. That's a little bit better way to do it. I don't know, but yeah, slap those people already. People can't find anything because everything has been purchased. Women have been turned into gold diggers. Jobs have been turned into shareholder diggers, and houses turned into prisons. You know, rent diggers. Everyone became a fucking money digger. So it's very hard to find them anymore. You know, they've evaporated into unreachable space and time. Not to mention friends. Oh boy. I really hope they're not on this list, but they kind of feel like they're on the list. You know? Oh yeah. Oh yeah, you lost your friends because they're busy searching for things. Here you go, buddy. Happy? Happy capitalism, boys. Somehow, capitalism has consumed the most valuable things that human beings have. I can't understand and comprehend that development. That is weird, bro. And it's like, obviously, if any politician, anyone wants to fix the system, this is the only thing you have to worry about. This is the only thing. People not finding women is gonna create fertility rate crisis to your entire country. And that's all you will be thinking about anyways. Like, just fix the fucking shit, you know? Fix it. But no, you know what else we're gonna do is just like migrants. Oh, alright. Let's not talk about it anymore. Like, you can't even fix any of this anymore. I thought capitalism was a perfect system, right? Competition. But the competition was killed by minimum wage. You can own any amount of houses. Oh shit, we killed it. Competition will just buy up the houses. And you can't do anything. Alright. And well, what's that? The money is the ultimate moral value because it's so simple. Oh, $1 billion. And woman is attracted to you. Otherwise, no. It's very simple. You can find it very simply. You just have to work very, very, very hard. You just have to have a lot of money. And you just have to understand that anytime you can, you invest into real estate. You know? Any fucking cent in your pocket you have, just throw in that real estate. So people get enslaved and pay rent to you. That's the only way. That's the blueprint of surviving capitalism, guys. Yeah, basically become a homeowner. But the funny thing is, people are not even good at searching because I still have a house and I have just like one person who was like, hey, can I have it? And he actually wanted to do a pretty big trade. It's not like I put house for sale, and I'm genuinely just exhausted of any of this. Let me try, like, that just now is an exhausting thing to look at. But anyway, so why would we talk about loneliness right now? How do we diverge from this to loneliness? Again, you cannot escape problems anymore unless you are specifically renting and having, like, a remote job. Like, but let's say that's nobody. So you can't escape your problems. You cannot find new people to talk to. And you cannot find a partnership that would last a long time, a person you can truly trust. You know, and a person you can love, because that's how life was designed. But oh shit, LGBTQ and women transform into you. Punch that bitch if she looks like a man. We have destroyed all the values just because we got mesmerized by the perfection of capitalism. As long as you have money, you have no problems. Ha 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 ha! It's so cool. So, but you're forgetting everything else. Everything else. The people burn their eyes out for this thing. And again, loneliness spreads because we're losing all of this. All of this, we're just losing it. If you escaped your problems, you would be less stressed, you would be more happy, you would be more social, and you would appreciate people around you more, right? And maybe something would click and connect and whatnot, right? So when you find your place. If you find your job again, you find more people, more people. You open social circles when you partnership with someone, right? Because social circles collide, or potentially even just open up. Women usually have bigger social circles than men, but don't know what to do with that. And that's it. You know? Fixed your loneliness. But instead, we have to admit that we gonna be lonely, that this game does not fucking make any sense anymore. And we can start easily appreciating that we have smartphones, that we're connected to the internet, and every calm it has to offer. Alright? Technically, commerce. Alright? But typically, it's community. Right? Yes, the internet would love to sell their goods to millions of people, but the only best thing they can sell is the feeling of community, of the feeling that someone can communicate with you about something or can give you some knowledge. I have been growing on top of a computer, all right? I have not done much in life besides being on top of a computer. I definitely tried things that looked appealing, tried move out, get a job, and why women don't exist. That one I even failed to try, but is what it maybe it's double layered cake. So it's worthless trying to even get to that point where women exist. You know, just because fuck it. They actually, because they're double layered and you cannot break through, getting a job is like, it's possible. Getting a place to rent, that's possible. But going through a double layer where you need to consent and the woman has to consent, and that's never gonna happen, guys. I don't consent 90% of the time. Like, I will get traumatized, essentially, right? So, if women don't consent also most of the time, right? If they choose to overshadow the rest of the 10%, where I'm capable of responding or whatever, man, it fucking sucks, bro. It fucking sucks. People should need to train each other so hard to actually bring that to life instead of just yapping on the internet of like, loneliness epidemic is happening. Fucking hell, dude. Just because people acknowledge loneliness epidemic, they don't know shit. So you can see I'm a little bit more skeptical that you might be stupid instead of lonely. You are lonely. You definitely are lonely because of capitalism. That is just a simple consequence. And no, government will not save you.
Many things.
Taxing the rich is not going to save you. Wait, I just talked about taxing the rich. Well, taxing homeowners, that's a whole different fucking story. These guys are different breed. They're the scum of the earth. Taxing demons? That would work immediately. Because we have to punish demons all the time, right? We tax them if they are too noisy, right? We should be sending police and grabbing some of their money so they shut up forever. When you collect too many problems, you have to leave your place, escape. But if that's not available, you have to take less risks. You have to isolate yourself more. It's just so painful, dude. The strategy of surviving capitalism, the Hunger Games, that should have been called the Loneliness Games. Loneliness Games, guys. That is the real name of this game. Not Beast Games, not Squid Games, and not Hunger Games. We are just inducing loneliness. And we should fucking understand why. So, here you go, guys. Introduction. You should be intrigued by now to try and stop loneliness from happening. Now, let's listen to my ego self and confront a person that is gonna tell us about how we are rather stupid and lonely. Right? Because there is stuff you can do to alleviate this problem. Also, let's not forget previous episode where I talk about trust. So, if you find someone that you care about, you must establish a connection. And every now you have to renew that connection, but you have to also keep distance. Impatient people like scammers, they want to close that distance as quickly as possible and take stuff from you. Pretty obvious, right? They appear to be nice, and niceness is already a red flag. If a person is nice, that's a red flag, actually. So, if a person just wants to talk, that's not a red flag. That's not being nice. He's talking. You know, we're talking about stuff. There's no niceness attached to it, but that's what it requires. It requires a connection, communication. So, if a person gets better, you are closing the gap, right? You get closer to that person. If a person is unlikable or does something wrong, you are blocking the gap. You bridging distance. So the person is no longer capable of easily connecting to you, right? Maybe I can look at it as like snakes and ladders, where it's like you get closer and closer and closer and you fall down. Closer and closer and closer and you fall down. Everyone can make mistakes. Everyone can do something wrong. But relatively, you have to, in every relationship, you have to try and climb up and continue doing so unless you hit rock bottom and it's just not working out anymore. If you go back into being strangers, then it's game over. That's just a very simple way of saying game over. That doesn't mean the connection is over. The connection potentially is stronger than ever before, unless the person becomes evil, right? Unless a person does evil things, then they can actually sever the connection as well. Connection still exists because you have experience together, you have established some level of trust. Like you can trust each other to be strangers and not demons. Not want to attack each other. At least. Oh well. I think that's the relationship I have with my dad. I don't think he's a demon. I don't think he is full of shit. But he just doesn't do anything that's actually beneficial for me. There is no way of getting closer to my dad. He does not allow me to do that. It's like he breaks every rule and he thinks in the most selfish terms. He doesn't exist to me. He's just creating more drama and stress. If you do that, and I really don't like drama and stress, then unfortunately, I have to push you away a little bit further. So just yesterday, my guide hit a snake. Just tumbled down in reputation. Because my guy dad shows up uninvited without a fucking warning and starts wanting things. You can't pack this whole fucking package without giving me anything. Like, oh, you fucking kidding me? And gets free sympathy from me as well. Is this relationship matrix where like you hold it together, and if a person is not being fair, then it's starting to tax you basically? I'm not sure. I'm not sure. I do think it matters. I do think relationships have to be generally fair. And if a person is doing this and not contributing enough, it's gonna grow distance. You can't just get out of your way. You can try to do that a couple of times, but at some point it's collapsing. You're staying there. Every time you have to get closer and just like ask for this gap to be bridged, or it will become a gap. So that's the basic trust matrix. That's the basic relationship matrix. If people are fair, they can establish speed bumps, I guess, to get to the whatever a little bit faster. There is a hill. There's invisible hill no matter what distance you are from a person. You still have to establish comfort. So when you're working together, there's no focus on the problem, and there's focus on the problem that we're not reaching the middle point fast enough. We feel the fairness, we feel the connection, and equal contribution to the conversation. Anyways, moving on. Now I'll try to break down the video because I need to upgrade it. It used to be magazine. Oh yeah, that entered the conversation. I definitely recommend watching the introduction because that's very high energy stuff. There are many things available to you, and if you take your time enjoying those things, you will not feel lonely, right? Still, if people project money to be morality, then money will set you free. I do have to mention something. I worked in a factory where you have to find a job. No! Stop it! And I lost the job because I couldn't find the job inside a factory. I'm serious. There can actually be 2 layers of that as well. You find the job, but still in the workplace, you still have to find a job of what you're going to be doing for the day. Holy shit, that messed me up of like every time I am being told what to do, this time I have to find a person to tell me what to do, and it's still a 50-50 chance that they will give me anything at all. Oh, baby! It's a triple, bro. Double trouble. I couldn't believe it, man. I couldn't believe that shit is a thing. Oh my god. There were days when I got the job inside the job. But there was that one night when I couldn't get a job. Because people were just, everything felt so different. You know, I was thrown off. And I was paranoid. I was suffering deep down. Mentally at this point. I couldn't handle some pressure that I felt. But the job did that. By not telling me what to do. I was feeling so off. Like I don't belong in that factory, bro. Oh my god. Like, how can you make things worse? How can you fucking pull that off? I mean, the funniest thing, this is technically like double layer suicide, because if you don't own a house, and if you don't live in mom's basement, which is the best thing to do, by the way, because that's welfare, what are you talking about? You have to rent, and guess what rent gives you? Fucking nothing. You will never own anything. You just have to pay rent that might increase at any moment. Get the fuck out of here. That's also double layers. Because at any moment, rent can increase. You can be ripped off even more. Just because. Or migrants come in and seize your house. Who knows? There's bonus meme levels of destruction to your ability to even search for things and find things and keep things. No fucking way. I mean, there's technically a third layer to women because women like to cheat, right? Women like to just trash their partners, potentially. Who knows? I hope there's no 3 layers on that one, because that would be crazy. I just want things to be equal. I want women to be equal to other demons, you know? And not just be the better demon. Just stay in your fucking lane. Alright, you're bad enough.
Bitcoin, because
Alright, definitely derailed conversation at number 3rd minute. Minutes number 3. The moment I'm talking about Bitcoin, I'm like, are we really talking about loneliness right now? But yeah, people want to invest into something, just invest into real estate. There's nothing else that exists. Invest into the things people want. Make a job or invest into real estate or hijack women and become the next Andrew Tate. Alright, it's that simple. It's literally in front of you. There's people searching for these 3 things, and as long as you manipulate people, you will get all the money in the world. You know? As long as you can have OnlyFans model by your side, earning $1 million, bam, slam, you get 50% of that shit. Like, let's go. Yeah, someone made the Sniper Wolf. Sniper Wolf was made by a man. Was dragged into the spotlight. It worked for her in the end, but it was kind of fascinating that it worked for the dude as well. You know, even though the dude is like kind of average. Fascinating, bro. As long as you manipulate all the things that people are searching for and you trap them, and it's wow, you become rich. So forget about the Bitcoin. Shitcoin is just the promise of a brighter future that people also try to manipulate you with. It is fascinating that people who manipulate others, they get viewership, they get attention, they get praise, they get reputation, and someone like me gets fucking nothing. But hey, that's good. People are stupid. Most of the time, people are not lonely, they're just stupid. Because not only you have a list of things you can't acquire, but you added one more thing. You just keep adding, bro. And now you're searching for, how can I get my next Bitcoin? Because there's so many to choose from.
this can crash anytime.
Okay, there is a point behind Bitcoin, though. You're searching for a way for money to make more money, when the actual thing you should be doing is improving yourself, so you personally, with your skill set, you make more money. That's what jobs are for, to improve your skill set. Jobs are just as great opportunities as schools are. If you use that opportunity correctly, you will learn things, you will socialize, you will have people by your side, and a greater understanding of the world. Jobs must be appreciated, not scoffed at, of course. But something like Bitcoin should never be praised because it's money making more money. Any investment is money making more money. Unless you have way too much money, you shouldn't be entering world of investments at all. Because again, even if you succeed, you don't have skills. You don't build skills. Grab them while you still can. I'm already derailed from ever having a job, I probably can't have a job for the rest of my life. I don't know, man. Like, we don't know what the future holds, but I'm only hoping that the future holds even less jobs for me, not more. Even though I appreciate the concept, doesn't mean I want to have it anymore. Because I'm probably self-employed. I've probably already discovered my skills to be, revolutionary, and no one can build a job around revolutionary ideas. They can only invest, they can only justify that, yeah, whatever you're doing is valuable. They can only buy what I'm selling. But yeah, spending is also a job, and because I get my welfare, the only thing I have to worry about now is to reduce my spending, and if I do it hard enough, then any amount of money can supply me for a lifetime. You know, that's where we at.
Anytime. It's so convenient.
Yeah, I still appreciate this video.
And that's what makes it, celebrate.
Yeah, celebrate abundance of anything. That's the greatest principle we found in max stats ever. That's it. That's where it ends. One thing you can have abundance of the moment you enter self-improvement is abundance of willpower. You might actually recognize that you have that, and you can celebrate it. You can enjoy the difference of willpower, and that's like a godlike power. No matter how much damage you have induced, you can still improve yourself with willpower. Here's one thing. Let me kind of just like update you guys on a story that I pulled. So there's this dentist, a guy that also cares to tell people that you can heal your teeth. And people are discovering of like, yeah, you can heal your teeth to some extent until there's a cavity. And then it's game over. I think you can heal anything. You can heal your back. You can heal your eyes. Maybe you can even heal your hearing. You know, if your hearing is impaired, you can heal anything. Now, hearing is something that people definitely say you cannot heal, but fuck it. I would rather believe that you can heal anything. I would rather just jump all the way into the other side than live a life where I can't heal. I obviously cannot regenerate a fucking leg. Some things can be taken away from you, unfortunately. Or can they? Are we sure about that? But yeah, you have to genuinely break something to not be able to heal it in the human body. The funny thing is about eyes and back is if I broke my back, yeah, that's pretty bad. But if I damaged my back and I just lean onto my computer in order to, live a computer lifestyle, I'm technically taking damage on my back and eyes. But the funny thing is, we have nerds. Every single nerd wears glasses. But the depiction of nerds did not start with computers. It started with books. People reading books all of a sudden needed glasses? How does that work? How does that make any sense? Well, people who spend time alone, they probably don't look into the distance. They're damaging their eyes not by not using their eyes, not by looking at the book, but they're damaging their eyes because they're not training the eyes in the proper range amount of exercise, right? So I cannot see it in a distance, but I technically just need to see my computer. My vision works. My back works when I have to just lean onto a computer. My back still works. Is what it is. But if I want a normal life, I have to heal all of these pieces. Which tells me that eyes can also be healed. And I'm pretty sure that's the case. That everything is basically a muscle. I will go one step forward. I will say teeth are a muscle. The video that you see here is about wisdom teeth. Holding your jaw together. Like, it changes your face structure if you just remove wisdom teeth. So the guy's like, maybe you shouldn't remove wisdom teeth. For me, wisdom teeth have destroyed my face, but it feels the same way. It feels like there's a concept called body collapse. And let me ask AI. I have not asked AI about this. I might have asked similar questions, but the concept of body collapse is incredible. And when I asked this guy, he didn't know nothing about it. So I'm like, okay, fuck off. You're not an expert in teeth anyways. You were so close. Here it is. They're useful when humans ate much tougher raw foods. Get out of here. Yeah, I mean, AI is gonna be like, okay, you're overstepping your boundaries, guy. I genuinely have to every time assume that science is flawed and does not actually understand reality much. And most of the time, science scoops up a pile of people who try to be perfect anyways. Yeah, science accidentally bumps into people who brush their teeth every day, go shower every day. They try to make every aspect of themselves perfect. While at the same time, they are incredibly stupid and easy to influence. So I can never trust the conventional wisdom. Never ever. Ever since Flat Earth, everything is questionable now. And if people don't know, very likely the best possibility is the reality. Should God exist, what is the best possibility? That you are God, that it's enough for you to have whatever you already have, and you have inner guidance from a greater power that wants to embody you, but if you're not doing the right things, if you're not doing good things, only fear and demons will embody you, basically. So whatever people don't know, expect the best actual reality. People tend to actually underestimate their abilities all the time because they need excuses. While dissecting conventional wisdom, you might face the fact that if people don't know something, you can expect the best possibility to be true. Usually the best possibility is the one that makes most sense. This is the first step. It has to make a lot of sense, right? But why would they lie? Why the fuck do you care about people who don't care about you, bro? You think going to space for anyone is beneficial? When? How? But look how hard people are fighting to keep their conventional wisdom. How hard they try to craft reality that makes no fucking sense when the best case scenario is kind of this. Kind of. But it may look stupid because they added space. You love space this much. It's that useful for you. What is happening? See, people can't let go. Their conventional wisdom is so fucking rotten to the core that they cannot let go of simple ideas. Only if you are broken, you need to go to authorities and ask if there anything I can do to live a life anymore. If things are broken in your life, now you have to go and seek possibilities. Now you have to go for a dentist and seek if there's a way for you to have some kind of fake teeth. You know, when things are truly broken, but you should never get to that point. I've already explained this concept in a previous video. And if you're a moral person, you will get kind of close to breaking yourself, but never actually break yourself. Never ever. Like, if you're truly moral person, if you truly understand what is a risk, what needs to be avoided, when you have to pull yourself up because you're very close at breaking yourself, when you read your signals and I'm getting so much strength just by acknowledging of like I'm doing everything correctly. I can do so many things. The funny thing about max stats, so conventional wisdom is gonna put you at 50% of max stats. That's the problem. You have to break through this garbage that actually limits your stats. You will never reach max stats if you believe what other people tell you. Mostly if you believe what other people tell you, and what other people tell you is negative and restricting. You gotta love my ability to make a food theory video before food theory video.
And guess what? I get to brag about it because I've actually done something.
I've done the same exact video, just better, of course. I wouldn't bullshit people for an entire hour, would I?
Property and private business and private things to think about. Everything is so fucking private, no one wants to listen to you anymore.
That's Boomer Strategy 101. They will not listen to you. Listening to other people is forbidden by boomers. What did you say? Oh, I don't give a fuck. Whoa, that's so fucking cool, dude. Whatever problems you have, nothing happened, guys. Boomer's happy and Boomer does not hear you.
If you're truly lonely, that's the only thing you can do. Unfortunately, you can only offer money.
If you're lonely, you can buy someone food. Anyone in the street of like, you want something to eat? And you will see what level of person you can fish out, essentially. Obviously, it will depend on how you present your offer of free food, and that you want in exchange to hang out with that person. It's not exactly free. It's for friendship. You want to see them eat the food, at least. You want to hang out. It's weird, though. I mean, while they eat, you're still spending time with them, and potentially they stick around for a little bit. Maybe they say a word or something. There are ways to provoke social connection, and definitely TikTok gives a lot of ideas about that. But yeah, the easiest thing to do is to just offer food to a random person. It's like, you want this? You want some of this? Yeah, this is the craziest thing of all time. Of like, no, you don't really need wisdom teeth, actually. You can't train your mouth anymore. Like, the conventional wisdom is so broken. I can't, dude. Everything is so fucking broken.
What can
Alright, I'm not finding much insight at the moment. So you will have to deal with loneliness, and technically, it should boost your max stats if you find the right ways to approach loneliness, to accept it, to understand that the opposite of loneliness is probably worse to you. People nagging you, people invading your privacy, people have access to information about you and keep asking for more. Under narcissistic rule, you keep people very far away from you and offer, if they want to get closer, they have to pay money. Or they have to pay effort. Either or. I personally prefer effort because I need to trust people, right? Money is not something that has too much moral value anyways. It just is nice if people are capable of giving it, but people are usually not capable of giving money to others. So it's like, what's the point? Capitalism is fucking broken in the first place. People who enjoy capitalism, they don't understand that they're just a part of a social experiment of trying to build capitalism. Capitalism will only function if you can give money to anyone in the world at any time, easily. Then I can give 2 cents to a person who says nice thing to me, because for any day, I want people to at least say a nice thing. Maybe I will shed that query at some point. Maybe it's just gonna be there forever because it's established and I don't want to touch it. But you know, just say a nice thing for the day. Get your 2 cents. Fuck yeah, dude. I'm not upset about people who are investing into the future currency. Money has to change. Rules have to change. Things have to improve significantly. And the fantasy of things improving is definitely there. it's definitely encapsulated, but Bitcoin is nowhere near of what's supposed to happen to capitalism. Yeah, so I explained the situation that happened when I came back from UK. My mom had a lot of friends that I immediately eliminated because they are not good people. They are borderline demons who got the opportunity to waste my mom's time. My dad actually appeared the same exact way of like, I say no and he will disappear forever, right? Alright, cool. Good. You're not gonna intimidate me by making me more lonely. So really think about it. Because usually the opposite of loneliness, there's no good enough substitution that you can actually acquire. You can only acquire a lot of stupid shit to silence yourself. So one thing that's very interesting, let's say you have a group of friends. All right, you have a group of friends. But if you improve yourself and your friends stay behind because they have flaws, they don't care, they're too lazy, you're basically outgrowing your friend circle and you probably have to go because your friendships no longer give you anything. So you naturally transition into loneliness. Loneliness can be an indication that you're doing fine. You're doing better than others. One mistake you can make is you doing better than other women. Oh no, don't compare yourself to women. Women don't exist. That's the fucking kicker. That's one of the biggest problems women's existence would actually do. If women existed, then comparing yourself to women would be a devastating thing. It always creeps me out of like, damn, women projecting such good lifestyles, they have all these cool things. But when you look at men, men can't even post a fucking picture of themselves on social media, let alone videos like these. So, prepare to get lonely when you get to outgrow your friends. And then hopefully you jump into another pool of social people, right? And you outgrow them or whatever. But it's a 50-50. You might end up alone or you end up with others. If you ask me where I am right now, I am inside an apartment that doesn't ask me for rent. All right? That's what it is. And I have a roommate called Mom. Roommate, mind you, that technically owns the place, but she is stupider. How can you actually acknowledge as she owns anything when I'm smarter? Like, what quality does she have? She worked hard for it. Back in the past when the room was easy to purchase. Okay. When jobs were easy to find. Okay. When she transitioned from communism to capitalism, but kept the job from communism. And obviously, if you keep your job, you're gonna be fine. So, my mom just, it's a legacy. To me, it's nothing else, and something I have to fucking grab. I still don't get to, I don't get to talk to people anymore. Even back in the day, my friend would actually still bother me with like, oh my god, live in a mom's basement, that's so shameful. What? Did you just skip a few steps? Because if you try to shame me, you have to show me something better. You have to show me the better option, right? And if you're paying rent, you're just literally a slave. You're a fucking degenerate that pays the super taxpayer, basically. You're not only paying taxes to the government, you're paying taxes to the nearest fucking jump schlack, bro. Johnny Schlack. Often you can outgrow people just by being slow. I don't know if I can move out of this box, to be honest. I don't know. You just slow yourself down. It's the same way that you establish trust. You slow yourself down. You cannot bridge this distance. You have to keep the distance intact. The only thing you abridged is ability to communicate to that person. That's it. Now they're listening to you. And if they want to let go, let them go. If they want to be lonely, which is an epidemic still, it's still a hard thing to overcome. It's still the ultimate challenge, the ultimate final boss. If they want to do that willingly, fuck yeah. You know, you lose. You lose. That's the game. In the end, that's the game of survival. You should not let loneliness be a natural thing in your life. Or you should let it be natural but not consensual. You should not induce loneliness. You should allow it to happen if it happens. It's unfortunate. You should not celebrate that, but alright. You have to move on. I am not celebrating losing friends ever. I'm not celebrating escaping friend circle. I need them. You know, but I can't have a proper version of them that benefits me in any way. Like, so it's over. So technically I'm like this, and there's other people around me. And maybe I'm starting to acknowledge that. And maybe there's some kind of, like, we are in an escape environment. In the game of escape. I have to escape this box, even though I don't have to pay rent for it. But I need to have more options of where to go and where to escape to maybe find more comfort. So perhaps I'm comparable to every neighbor right now. I am the ultimate neighbor right now. I am responsible for this like vibe of like I'm taking responsibility for upkeeping this place. I care more than my mom, and that's the fucking difference maker. It doesn't matter who has signed papers. You know, if my mom thinks that I'm a good person and just allows whatever to happen and she doesn't fucking care to do anything about it, then I have to take all responsibilities. You might have different kind of family members treating you differently, but this is my level 3. Only when I escape or upgrade this place significantly can I truly say that I escaped into level 4. Into where I have my temple. Where I can bridge even bigger distance away from demons. Because apparently, even the fact that demons are behind a wall does not stop them from annoying the shit out of me. And even though I lived in these walls for such a long time, things can literally change across the wall in an instance. In 1 year, things can change. And so brutally, so dramatically, that I literally was surrounded by demons last year. And this year, I was finishing that thing of being surrounded by demons. Like, it's 100% complete. It's not all at the same time, but holy crap, man. Does that make no sense? How did this happen? So all of a sudden, now I have challengers around me. Now I have to figure out how to solve this problem. And the moment this problem is solved, I am now godlike. Because to find anything significantly better than whatever the fuck I'm dealing with right now is, I would say, extremely difficult task. And again, I look around. Yes, there are rich people, but you have to focus on the poor people and understand what they're struggling with. And you will realize they're struggling to just pay rent. Some of them are stuck in such terrible conditions that it doesn't matter what they have. They usually have nothing. So why can't they have their mom's basements? Why can't they deal with their own boomer family? Now, you should be able to defeat that first. Technically, that's what it was. My friend circle was kind of very weird in this condition. In the UK, my friend circle was my dad, some old man. That's it. And then there's me. And I had to outgrow these guys. And maybe you can add like a workplace as an ever-changing third person that tends to be my friend or whatever. Right, tends to interact. So I had to outgrow these guys and essentially escape UK. I thought that was the only thing I can do. I didn't thought that it's gonna end up in me being the winner, you know? That's the winning move. I thought I fucking lost it. I thought I just gonna go back to my mom and like suffer uh, a shitty life. But she fucking lived a good life and I didn't even know about it. You can't possibly know every opportunity that you have. You can only try. Or try to hang on for as long as possible, and sometimes elimination can be an upgrade. I feel I suffered an upgrade. But slowly my relationship deteriorated. Like I lost my mind. I I couldn't control my feelings. Things were so weird. Everything felt so weird. Like some kind of inner energy was awakening and I was starting to trip my own balls. While at the same time I was failing to find a workplace to attach to. And without a workplace, you can't pay rent. You can't get anywhere in life. I feel like I kind of like shattered a fantasy basically, and my dad was becoming like a demon who's asking for money just for a random fucking thing of like he got scammed, so he's asking for me to invest into him being scammed. But only later do we find out that he got scammed. And I'm like, for fuck's sake, why are you that stupid? Why are you stupid enough to be scammed? But you're never gonna give me money, you know? And he had to slowly repay, technically. He kind of did 60% repayment, but like, you must understand there's strings attached to it, there's drama attached to it, and it fucking sucks. After spending enough time, I no longer respected my dad, and that's an important thing, you know? And I stopped respecting UK as well. And now that I had a better perspective even to look back at it, it's like all of this was a waste of fucking time. You know? It's an important experience, but in the end, I would not do the same thing. If it wasn't a waste of time, I would go back and do the same thing. Go across workplaces, grab money, come back, you know, I would still do the same thing. It would still be a part of my, you know, growth or whatever. But no, it's leave it behind, move forward. You've moved forward and you don't look back. Did I become more lonely or did I just jump into another social circle? Now my social circle is my mom, my doctor, and again, the me. So, very same, guys. An incredibly tight circle of like, can my mom at least be a functional human being? And can my doctor leave me alone? This is the relationship, guys. And the additional bonus meme is the neighbors. That's what it is. So instead of work, I have shitty neighbors. Guess what? It's still hardcore. It's still comparable to the previous thing. When you go to work, fuck yeah. Easy peasy. You just do the work. Unless you're not told what to do. Unless there's two layers. You go to work and you still have to seek work. But nothing really changed. It's just I went from a dad environment into mom environment. That's it. Nothing changed, guys. I just level up. But I still have a social circle that looks exactly the same. If you really think about it. It has the same amount of stress factors. It has the same fucking weirdo next to me that I don't understand. And it has some kind of smart person that I get to interact with. But I don't understand. What am I supposed to do with them exactly? Like, are they really useful? It makes me question But at the same time, I can't question because I get that's where welfare comes from, guys. That's where I get the most value. The old man gave me value in terms of finding a place to stay at, finding a place to rent very, very quickly. He fucking sheltered really well. Alright, so, and then he find my workplace. So he basically established me very quickly, while the doctor allows me to just, like, be in my own place, be in my own space, and just everything is stable because of the doctor, because of this industry, right? That's behind me. And now I have to master this social bubble and escape. That's level 3 social bubble right now. Once I master and escape it, that's when the real thing happens. Usually, you can maybe get sucked into a vortex like last time. I just do the same thing. I get sucked into a vortex, and I change my life just by traveling to a different country. I mean, right now, Japan is opening a vortex, because apparently they're struggling with the amount of people. Okay, that's cool. Anyways, closing points. What does this story say about loneliness? I don't even know if it's possible to be lonely. Even someone like me still finds himself in a social bubble. It's almost impossible to live without one. You still need it. You need to be connected to society in some kind of degree just to survive. There's no escape from that. But the social bubble that confines you very likely can be escaped from, and that will not make you lonely, but you're probably just going to find another social bubble. I don't even know if you can actually generally be lonely in the first place. And while you're in your social bubble, just do social things. Think about what you're going to say to a person that you're going to meet. Think about all the things that already happened. I don't feel lonely. I feel tormented by people's presence and how I have to perform to them as best as I can. Say the best things I can possibly say and have my pockets stuffed with scripts to be prepared to say something to even like a stranger. There's actually no way to escape into loneliness completely, it seems. Unless you are the one being antisocial, you're the one inducing it, and you're the problem. You're the stupids, you know? That's the only conclusion. Oh, I still have to rewatch this fully.
Can you do on basically their older
If people having fertility problems, you don't think there's like problem after problem after problem. You don't think that this is like just the tip of the iceberg of the problems that exist? Again, I tell you, capitalism doesn't work. Fundamentally, people don't want to give away money. They don't just want to give away free space for other people to live in. They don't want to give away their money. They want to get things for free rather than pay money. Like, they will always choose the free option. But that's just a disease that just showcases that capitalism doesn't work, that you don't have enough ways to earn money to be able to spend money. What is going on? But yeah, the greed and insecurity holds money hostage in most people's pockets. They're scared. They don't want to give money to anyone. There can be bad consequences if you're going to be the first one to be generous, and so on. And in the end, a couple of games get your $60, and the rest of the gaming world gets fucking nothing. Just like a couple of YouTubers get your maximum amount of money, and everyone else get fucking nothing. This is how broken capitalism is. You're not supposed to find anything. There's just not enough space for everyone to be satisfied. In other words, this is the depiction of capitalism. One person is happy, the other person are crammed into a tiny space trying to survive. Can you call Mr. Beast lonely? No, he has control of the cube. He can talk to anyone he wants, and that person is going to be nice to them on just because there's a chance that Mr. Beast's going to be nice and it let them escape into a free range where they get more subscribers, more views, you know? We see the most broken version of capitalism where one person can have it all. And in the cube, you might be lonely because the neighbors that you have, they're not very kind, or nice, or able to support your sanity, you know? So yeah, the conclusion, you can't find anything to satisfy your loneliness. That's just the ultimate battle. Your social circles are going to be tight, and you will have a lot of privacy, and you have to make the best of it instead of panicking, right? And most importantly, you have to respect anyone who gives a fuck about breaching and defeating loneliness. Because it's a person who actually cares about the biggest final boss of capitalism, of how we're going to reverse this damage that we're taking. We have all this freedom available, but only dumb people, degenerates, are winning even more than regular people. And potentially the other side are not even winners either. They are evil. They buy everything up. They set up traps. There's only a small sliver of people who are rich and they are moral. In fact, I would dare to build a pyramid inside a box. There are degenerates and there are genuinely evil people that technically don't play the game of capitalism. They just make it, you know, make it feel that even though there are tons and tons of rich people, by the way, because you have to define richness a little bit differently, just slight financial freedom and ability to have a job is already like mid-tier. So you can imagine there's more and more like evil people and degenerates who are capable of abusing the system. Finding the actual people who play the game properly, that is where you run into scarcity. That's where the pyramid closes in on itself. Every single person can spend their life talking about evil people or degenerates. Epstein or, let's just take Logan Paul as a degenerate, right? You can choose which one you want to talk about. But only when you talk about the actually good people are you going to improve yourself. You have to find people who are above you. That's the actual real surge that you need to encourage yourself to do. Because even if you are alone, if you're capable of solving your problems all by yourself, you're not going to feel lonely. You feel the progression, you will feel all the good feelings, and you will not focus on the final boss of capitalism that tries to make you feel bad, you know? Anyways, thank you guys for watching. I think we cracked it, you know? We cracked it even harder this time.